man who just blew that whistle is the coach of the Middletown Middies, Coach Paul Walker. Coach Walker, could you come over here just a moment, please? Paul Walker, I know that most coaches hate to be put on the spot, but we would like to do just that to you right now.
Well, you can try it, Bob. We have only one thought in mind, and that's going to Columbus and give it all we've got. We have the fans behind us in Middletown. We have most everybody behind us in this end of the state. So we're going up and give it all we have.
And you're going to have the boys in good shape.
Very fine shape, we think.
Paul Walker, I notice in our stands we have two very interested spectators today. They are Ralph Gray, president of the Armco Steel Corporation, and Dick Seigel, president of the Gardner division, the Diamond Gardner Corporation.
Yes, Bob. They dropped over to wish us luck.
Well, let's go over and talk with them. Mr. Gray, what do you think of the team? How do they look?
Dick and I were just talking about them. They look great.
They certainly do, Paul. The leadership which you've provided and the enthusiasm which this team has developed are ingredients of success in any endeavor, business or athletic. Middletown is certainly proud of you and the boys.
Thanks very much, Dick. The kids will appreciate that very much. They're going to Columbus with one thought in mind, and that is try to win that basketball game.
I'm sure of that.
I'm sure that every team that you play, Coach Paul Walker, everyone knows that your middies are out to win each and every game. Mr. Gray, I understand that at one time you were a basketball player or a football player engaged in sports somehow. Tell me about that.
Bob, when I went to Washington University in St. Louis, I tried basketball, but I didn't click. Did play a little football, was on the varsity team for about 3 years, but now Dick and I both take our athletics from the stands.
Dick Seigel, how about you? You look like a basketball.
Seigel was a basketball player, I think, some 15 or 16 years ago.
Well, Paul, I don't know whether you would have called it basketball if you could have seen it, but I did play some semi-professional ball around Davenport, Iowa a few years ago. You can tell from looking at me that height wasn't as important a factor in the game in those days as it is today.
That's a big factor today, Bob.
You like the tall boys,
I like
Paul?
the big horses.
Coach Walker was telling us, gentlemen, that just a few minutes ago, how happy he is, how happy the fans are, that your two companies, Armco Steel and Diamond Gardner, is sponsoring the telecast of Friday night's game. Happy because he knows that there are not very many tickets available.
Bob, I know I speak for both companies when I say we are very happy to be able to team up again this year to bring this state high school basketball tournament to Middletown basketball fans.
Bob, we both know that very few people in Middletown would see this game if Gardner and Armco didn't bring this game to Middletown. We're happy to be a party to it.
Tickets, I know, and we have said several times, are certainly hard to come by. Coach, have you had any requests for tickets?
Oh, yes, we have our usual requests, Bob.
So I think that this fact that your two companies are presenting this telecast is just another example of your intense interest in our community. Many times in the past, you have demonstrated your interest in all worthwhile community activities. This is just another example.
I'm sure Ralph will agree with me that our efforts at community activities are merely typical of the manner in which Middletown conducts its community affairs. People here have long worked together in spirit of cooperation and mutual respect. We're pleased to be a part of that scene.
Bob, that situation not only exists in Armco and Gardner's plants and offices, but it exists throughout Middletown. In the schools, I'm sure it exists there, or this team wouldn't be where it is. It exists in our civic clubs and throughout our service clubs and in many points in town.
Many areas of activity here in Middletown. Coach, we could talk to you for many, many hours about the team that's out there on the floor, the mighty middies, but I know you have one thing in mind right now, one thing and nothing else, and that is more practice so that when we get to Columbus this Friday night, we'll be all set.
Yes, that's right, Bob. Thanks for coming by, Bob. Thanks, Mr. Seigel.
Good
Thanks,
luck, Paul.
Mr. Gray.
Bob,
We'll be seeing you in Columbus.
We'll be right there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you and good luck, Paul Walker.